for the last Tech Friday of 2025, I have a special guest, Brian, Urban Bohemian. Say hello.
I thought he was going to say for the last time. I was like, for the last time ever? Wow. What a way to find out. Hi, I am Brian, aka Urban Bohemian, pretty much everywhere on the internet. I am not spelling Urban Bohemian because, as I've heard, it's a mouthful. But I mostly stream on Twitch, and I'm loud about nerd stuff and food stuff and music stuff on Blue Sky, and I post little videos to all the places. And mostly, if I'm not on my own channel on Twitch, I'm somewhere else, usually doing like a charity stream or a one-shot. So hi.
Hey. All right, let me turn off the music here because it's still going. There we go. I hit another button. I can hit buttons. Yeah.
Are you hitting the right buttons?
I am. I guarantee. I was not about to hit the wrong button before we started stream at all. Nope, not me. Can't be me.
This is why you need one stream deck for your normal stream, and then you need to print a 3D mount to like have the second stream deck up for, then you can have a control panel like a little starship bridge.
Exactly. All right, let's see who has said hi in chat. Urban Bohemian said hi. Hi, Brian. How you doing? Springleaf, hi. Puddleglum, hi. Let's see, who else do I see? Latia, hello. Welcome on in. Yes, every day we must ask ourselves, are we hitting the right buttons? This is a constant.
I guess I am.
All right, so
That's
today
to activism. Press the right buttons. Just press the right buttons. That's how you. That's activism in a nutshell. Come on, DC. Come on, pull it together.
Yeah, I'm trying. Okay, today on this very special year-ending Tech Friday, we're going to be talking about our favorite tech of 2025, and it didn't have to come out in 2025, but it had to be stuff that we used or found a new use for in the year, and stuff we like. So, if you want to say, well, this didn't come out in 2025, you're right. It probably didn't. So give yourself a gold star.
This isn't your stream.
Yeah.
This isn't your stream, so shush. Okay?
Yeah, exactly. So first up, Brian was going to go over some retro tech.
When DC invited me to talk about the tech in 2025, and it was like, all right, I did have things that I used, but I wasn't a big buyer. I actually went and looked back over my list of, okay, what all did I buy this year that was like tech-wise? But I realized I was leaning into, because of starting to do more digital archiving and to look for, basically starting to pull things that I liked off of services that there's no guarantee those things will be there anymore. I started using a lot of old school stuff. And it's sort of a trifecta of like my number one thing is learn to use your text editor for everything. Like if you're Notepad on Windows, I think it's TextPad. If you have a Mac OS, it even has WordPad, which is sort of more of a word processor type thing. But I was using those all over the place. StreamerBot pretty much runs off of, I can't tell you how many text files on my system that I get to modify myself. And my biggest project this year was one of the podcasts that I listened to. They stopped doing episodes, and I've been following them on various services. They're on this one and that one and this one, and probably a new one you haven't even heard of, and probably another one that's already gone out, that's already shut the platform down. And I was like, okay, I need these podcasts, period. So I basically grabbed all the names, threw them into a spreadsheet, which is my next thing is once you upgrade from text editors, you move up to spreadsheets. And that can be whether you're using a local spreadsheet, an app, cloud version, free version, whatever. And from them, I started collating okay, how many episodes are there? What are their links? How do I get to them? How do I pull them down? And after downloading them all, the third part of my retro trifecta thing was using my command prompt or my terminal, if you're on Mac, to do some very fast renaming. So it's one of those things where sometimes the best tech you've got is the tech that you already have, and it's learning to use that tech that you've got in new ways or ways to improve stuff. So yeah, I would say learn about what's already on your system that, I will say, for now, for the time being, doesn't have a ton of AI baked into it. DC has talked about Copilot on previous Tech Fridays, and also talked about how to remove Copilot on previous Tech Fridays. So yeah, my thing is, my initial thing for 2025 was like getting back to at home using these old school things. I use them at work a lot. Like, I am a command line girly at work, and it kind of throws off my coworkers because they have no idea. Like, I sent them a batch file that's a bunch of, like, renames and file moves, and they're like, what is this? And I was like, don't worry about it, just double click it, which admittedly is not what you want to hear from a coworker when you don't know what they're sending you, but it's from me, so trust me, that's my sources. So yeah, I would say lean into that, because if you're trying to do major things, if you're trying to collate your files, you can probably do it a lot faster. For instance, if you just wanted to find like where all your JPEGs are on your entire system to figure out like, okay, do I have them missing somewhere? You can do that a lot faster with a command prompt command to search your whole drive than the Windows Explorer search, which may take all night, who knows. So those are my like, my first thing is the best tech for 2025 is chances are something that's on your system that you just haven't used to its fullest potential yet.
All right. And speaking of things that not using to its fullest potential, I have one that's also sort of text-based. And if you've all, yeah, I know. And if you've all been here at all, you probably know what I'm about to pull out of my hat here. And, pull it out. Obsidian! There you go. It's one of my top things of 2025. I started using it a little bit last year, but this year I really dove into it and using Markdown. So like both things on top of each other. And I've been encouraging people to really use Markdown, as it's a fantastic way to format your text and make it look pretty without having the bloat of, say, a document file that you made in Word. Because I don't know if you've ever compared a text file with the same amount of words to a docx file, and you'll see a significant difference in size between the two. And
there's a reason for that.
Yeah,
it's a horrible reason, and anyone who's had to work on those files, like somebody who maybe does that for their day job. Speaking of retro tech, it's like Windows put typesetting into a word processor, so it's not even just doing fun stuff. It's literally saying, oh, this is a P that's also capital, that's also Times New Roman, that's also this high, that's also this wide, and next to it is another letter. And I'm like, that's why these files are so large.
Yeah.
Stop it. Just stop.
So use Markdown, because you can use Markdown in anything, but use Obsidian. Use Obsidian. I should have had that flash up on the screen. Use Obsidian. But
I was also saying Markdown is great. Markdown is just great to know, period. As somebody who does front end web design, and for that we call it markup language for like HTML. Markdown's great because it works in more places than you think it does, like way more places than you think it does. Discord probably being the number one place that we use most often. And if you use Blue Sky, there are certain alternate Blue Sky interfaces that also allow you to use Markdown. So one of the best things is you can squeeze more links into a Blue Sky post if you're using like Deck Blue, because you can use Markdown to reduce your character count while still respecting the URLs. So it's really nice.
Yeah, Deck Blue is another great thing to use, just as a side note. But so going into Markdown and Obsidian, I've changed the way I work on just about everything with Obsidian. Like the show runs off Obsidian now with Screen Garden, which is a website we use so that Brian can have access to my Obsidian vault and type in what he needs to type in, and he doesn't have to download actual Obsidian, and just has the text is right there to put into, again, Markdown. And it's fantastic. All of my TTRPG stuff, I that I've released recently. I've made in Markdown, or I've made in Obsidian. I'm going to release another Obsidian Vault, which will be my DM and player things squished together for everybody. And if you like the system, I still have to make the videos for that. It's all set other than me talking at you in a video format that YouTube likes. And so, yeah, right.
Gross. Like, there's a new, people are starting to realize there's sort of this new trend of investigating why everybody has been pivoting from like writing to YouTube, and why YouTubers are becoming a thing, and why YouTubers are also starting to all speak in a very specific way. And it's fun to see people learning, like, okay, what is the current homogenization trend on YouTube? And currently it's just video essays and uptalk. That is apparently the current new meta. And wow, does that just hurt your soul when you just want to make a video about a thing?
Yeah. Like, I'm trying to decide if I want the instructional video for this Obsidian Vault to be one long one, or do I divide it up in short? Because currently people are telling me one long one might be a way to go, instead of dividing up the sections into, their own videos.
Longer with chapters is probably gonna suit you well in the long run. Mm-hmm. Because people are, unless you have to do a very specific type of cliffhanger on YouTube to get them to click like the next one a sequence. So yeah, just one big video with chapters is probably best.
Yeah. And
we've gotten off topic already. Amazing.
Yeah, we already have. And if you prefer written instructions, I have written instructions too. So, I'm providing both, and it'll be great. But so look for that. Yay, as that is all Obsidian. I keep finding new things and uses for Obsidian. I run all my games through an Obsidian Vault. Tech Friday runs through Obsidian Vault. All of my notes, everything goes through Obsidian now, and it's really fantastic. Plus, it's free for personal use and commercial use, and so that was a big plus, because I can provide you with vaults and not have to worry about extra copyright things or paying for an extra license or anything like that. It's all included when you just download Obsidian.
Nice. Yeah, I've got to get on the Obsidian train in 2026. It's still something that I know it's good. I know it works, but as a person who has their own workflow and methods, I haven't yet seen how it benefits me. So that's some homework that I need to do for next year.
Yeah, and if you get nothing else from my constant babble on Tech Friday, use Markdown, but also use Obsidian.
It's really pushing the Obsidian thing. Like,
yeah.
Like, are they paying you? Is that what's going on here?
No. I just they don't know who I am. So
okay, now that's okay. That makes me sad, but all right.
They should. Hey, Obsidian. Talk to me.
At least send him a t-shirt or something. I don't know if y'all have t-shirts.
You got t-shirts? I'd like a t-shirt. That'd be cool. I need more shirts. Yeah, more shirts. More shirts with products on them. Actually, anyone that wants to send me a shirt, I'll wear it. That'd be great.
I didn't see this kind of shilling, this kind of open, blatant, shameless shilling happening this far and this soon into this show, but all right.
Here we are. But I also want to say, I understand Obsidian can be a lot, and if it's not your thing, that's fine. But I do encourage you to take a look at Markdown, because Markdown is very useful across a number of things, and you'll have nice looking, well formatted text too, without straining. And they call the syntax rather than language because it's kind of a HTML offshoot, and you're just adding a few characters in front of it, and you can still read it. Even if your text editor of choice doesn't understand Markdown, you still can understand what's being said, even if it has some characters in front of it or behind it. It still makes sense. So yeah, that will be the Obsidian Markdown rant for today. It will probably come up more. Don't worry about it. However, in composing our lists, I discovered that we had some common things, and we were talking quite a bit about audio things. So we're going to kind of bundle up some audio recommendations all in one thing. So, Brian, if you want to kick us off.
Which one?
The earbuds.
Hold on. Which camera? Which card am I reading?
That one. I'll send you the $10 later.
Cool. Yeah, I talked about earlier, like how this was not a very spendy tech year for me. Like I saw a lot of things that were cool and nifty, but in terms of tech that I needed, I focused on what I needed for stream. And if something wasn't working or something broke down, then I replaced it. And one thing that I got was some relatively inexpensive Bluetooth ready earbuds. And because when I do streams, especially if I'm doing actual play, I prefer to not have overhead headphones. And if I like want to wear a hoodie or a hat or something, then, it's easier. So I did what every person does. Sorry, but I went to Amazon and looked for something with decent reviews that was the price that I wanted. And then I price matched for like going to my local store, and it was easier just to get on Amazon. And yeah, these work. They are clearly AirPod knockoffs. But the only thing with them is that they are the newest up-to-date Bluetooth, which meant I also had to buy a new Bluetooth adapter for my Windows machine, because sometimes they are not bundled with the best Bluetooth adapter. And it's just how they do. They often know you're going to buy something new as an upgrade, so they don't bother. So I ended up buying a new Bluetooth adapter as well, which is now like, I don't know, what are we on, 5.2, 5.3? Anyway, now my Windows machine will happily talk to all of my other devices via Bluetooth, where before it barely would talk to my like Xbox controller. So it's nice. But yeah, that was like my first thing. I was like, okay, let me improve this, because the wireless earbuds that I was working before, they went into end of life, and when they broke. So yeah.
All right. And my first audio pick will be Elgato's new Wavelink beta. It is incredible. If you're starting off streaming and you need to route your audio to places, even though it's still in beta, I can't recommend this enough. It is a fantastic piece of software that solves a lot of problems right away of just, okay, here's my games channel. You just say, here's all the games, and then all of the games go to this channel here, and then you just tell OBS, this is my games channel, and all that audio will just flow into that channel. And you're just using one audio source in OBS and telling all your games to do that. And it's constantly improving. Like the recent addition was that you don't have to have a program open to add it to the channel list. You can just search for whatever program you have on your PC. So it's still in beta, and if you want to kind of not use it right away because it's still in beta, that's fine. Just come here, because I'm constantly using it and trying new features, and I'll tell you all about it. But if you're looking for routing your audio, it's free for everybody, which is why I'm really recommending it, is because you don't need to have an Elgato device to use it. And it's really the best way I found to get all your audio sources to where you need them. And let me tell you, audio organization is a huge problem if you don't have something to help you with it. And I think Elgato Wavelink will be the way to go here for quite a while. So
yeah, I like that the idea for 3.0, whenever it really just kind of turns into 3.0 and not the beta, is that you'll be able to use it even if you don't have their products. It's not really trying to lock you into their ecosystem, but they obviously would like you to become reliant on using it, because the Wavelink would then also lead you to their store, and you can, I feel like the eventual end game of this is you'll be able to buy VSTs and other effects that immediately sync with your Wavelink software versus having to do them on your own. But it is one of the easier ways to organize your audio, and there are several ways to do it, whether you have a physical mixer on your end, whether you're using software, whether you're trying to do it via the streaming software, which is possible but not great. I feel like Wavelink is one of those things that has absolutely changed how I do it. And, I currently keep track of which channel is which with a text file, because it's basically my posted note that is always on my desktop, is like, which channel is my mic and the audio, and that, like, but yeah, being able to separate them out is really nice. It's very good for editing. Which I'll get to something about that later. And yeah, it really is something that kind of levels up your streaming in a way that I no longer have to worry about what's going where. I always know where my game audio is coming from. I always know where my voice chat audio is coming from. My web browser, you can separate those out. You can combine them. You can do whatever you like. And a new thing that they've added, which wasn't previously available, was the ability to combine microphone sources, which is something else. Like, it kind of leads into something else that we'll talk about in a minute. But being able to not have to have your mics separately controlled is going to be a game changer for anybody who has a second mic or a second scene or does something in a different room. It's going to be great.
Yeah. So come back here if you have questions on it. I'll be happy to answer, show you, email me. If you go to my website, there's a little email button at the top, and you can just press that and, ask me a question. And I want to kind of hit on the audio again, just tangent, I know, rabbit hole audio, that Wavelink allows you to use VSTs that we talked about and other filtering technology. They're little bits of software. And so if you use it on Wavelink, don't also use it in OBS. So if you have a gain control on your Wavelink source, don't use the gain control available in OBS, because then you're doubling them up and your audio is going to sound weird. So wherever you use filters, if you just want to use filters in one place, you can do that. If you like one filter over the other, again, just decide where you're going to use it. Don't use it in both places, and your audio will be pretty good. You'll achieve the effect you want. All right, let's go into something on both our lists, the Rode Wireless Micro. You want to kick us off?
I left in the kitchen because that's where it mostly lives, because I am not doing any outside walks right now. It is far too cold. I saw DC talking about the Rode Wireless Micro, and it was on sale at the time, so I picked one up because I had been looking for, I don't think I'm getting, like, I don't have like, not aspersions. What's the, like, aspirations? I was like, I forgot how to speak words. I don't have aspirations at being like a TikToker kind of person, but I knew that I would be going to a place where I wanted to do some content, if you will. And the wireless micro, every review I read, it just worked. It, like, the receiver plugs right into the USB-C. There's also Lightning if you have an older iPhone. It plugs right in, it connects right up. There is an app that you can use, but I have found that it probably also works without the app. It's just the app is fine-tuning, and it's worked really well. For my streams, I start them in the kitchen, and it's connected to a different computer. It sends the audio over OBS Ninja, VDO Ninja now, and it's worked really well. I've tested it when I'm outside. It connects with my phone. I think, like, my only drawback with it is because it doesn't have any kind of physical, like, it doesn't have a physical mute or a quick virtual mute. That's like my only gripe with it. But otherwise, it works really well. Like any audio thing, you play with it, you test it, you put it where it's comfortable, but then you should really kind of put it like kind of right over your chest sternum kind of thing. It's tiny. It is very small. It has a magnetic thing. And the number one thing is, like, you should hold on to it when you speak in videos. You should always hold it in your hand, or clip it to whatever. I'm just doing this to, like, you can see his face getting red, like, right now. You don't have to clip it to anything. It actually has great range. And yeah, I really enjoy it. I ended up using it much more than I thought. Like, when I would go to the gym and do a good morning video, I was able to speak quietly and not disturb other people around me and still get good audio from it. I was able to use it through a mask on the PAX Unplugged floor. It was nice because I was able to just stand near other people I wasn't even giving them one to wear. I was able to just stand near them and get their audio just fine. So yeah, I really like the Micro.
Yeah, and it does come with 2 mics and a receiver, like Brian said. And I use it for my craft stream days because, my desk is over there. My microphone is on an arm that does not extend over to my craft stream desk because it's just way too far away. And so I take this thing and I plug it right into my computer. There's a free USB port right on the top. Just plug it in. It shows up in Wavelink as wireless micro. And then I just have that source go to one of my channels on my Rodecaster Duo, and I just use that. And it's fantastic. I like it a lot. I set up the filters I want for it in Wavelink and just go. And it's been great. And yes, I've recommended it to Val, to Brian, now to Tanya.
Send him a hat. Send him a t-shirt.
Send me a t-shirt.
We're all in. It is something you want to do test recordings, because I will say it really does just work, like quote unquote just works out of the box. I plugged it into my phone, I plugged it into a USB-C port on my computer, I plug it into my Mac, and it just works. I haven't even played a lot with the audio filtering on it to like where you do test recordings and listen back. I haven't even done a lot of that, and I still consider it to be like in the 75% range of pretty good. 75% is more than pretty good. It's quite good, but it won't ever replace like the sonorous resonance of an XLR mic. It won't do that. But if you just want to get up or go outside or film something, and I will hop in here to say that if you have a newer mobile phone, test that microphone and that audio processing ability against the Rode Wireless Micro, because I found that the new Apple mobile OS has a little bit more audio, like it's able to kind of detect who's on screen and who's not. So it's a little bit more audio shaping than the Rode, which doesn't have a lot of options. You would have to process that audio later on yourself. But yeah, I've like it really is. It just works. I clip it on, and it's weird to walk away from my computer, but know that people can still hear me. So I have to remember oh crap, they can still hear me. I got to like say regular stuff and not just mutter, like it's still attached. Crap.
And also because the base unit comes with 2 of these, 2 microphones, you can in the app go, okay, I want this mic to go to the left channel, I want the other mic to go to the right channel of audio, and then you can combine those later in your editing program of choice and use it, and it's really fantastic. Now there are other models. They came out with a newer model of this, but this is really great value for the monies. It was right about $100, and this is one of the better, cheaper mobile microphones you can get that's really high quality. Also, just my general advice in mic, you can watch Brian's streams or my streams where I use it, or go to YouTube and type in the mic model you're looking for, because someone's done a review on it, and listen to their comparisons and decide if that sounds good to you, which is usually my top audio thing.
Find the audio nerds out there. Find the ones who compare it to like multiple other things, and they compare it under multiple different, like, I think my favorite when I was looking at XLR microphone reviews was the XLR mixer. Like they would compare it against different ones and different power levels, and I'm like, oh, I get it. I understand now why. But yeah, audio nerds are going to be your best bet for, I think I want this thing, but I don't know if it's going to be an improvement on my sound or not. YouTube's got you covered. They really do.
Yeah. All right. And Rex, no, I see that comment. No, you do not put the mic on a spatula.
I don't think I agree. I'm not sure that I agree with you. on that. Hold on, I'm looking for this clip just to make DC mad. It is a thing. Like these mics are meant to do whatever, and I know it became a big vertical video thing too when you were using these don't have the microphone on them, but when you were using wired ones, oh they do, to like try to hold the microphone near your face. And I mean, did that really improve? Did people do tests with and without and say it was better or worse? Who knows, but it just became a thing. So then holding the microphone, also, I feel like maybe that is a comfort thing. People like, they think if I'm holding it, then I'm really, you know, I'm holding it up to my mouth without realizing that the best place to capture the audio is like right there. That's the best place you're going to capture the stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, there are mics.
Kind of, it's funny to tease DC about it now.
Yeah. There are mics that are designed to be held up to your face, and you know, if you know who Gene Rayburn is, you could probably get one of his mics too. But
get me a Gene Rayburn.
Yeah, I really want Gene Rayburn. Okay. I would hold it all the time, and you gotta hold it sideways because it telescopes out. Mm-hmm. And yeah, but there are mics designed to be held. But these you clip on to yourself and use them. That's what they're designed to do, because you'll have your audio, you know, people will move the mic and then their voice is at different volumes as they're doing this, because if they're like me, they talk with their hands a lot, and you know, so you have this volume that's weirdly inconsistent, and it's like it has a clip. Just use the clip and don't touch it. Free up your hands. Do things unless you have a microphone where. And I was amazed. I saw a YouTube video where someone was hand-holding a mic, and it was a mic that was meant to be handheld. I'm like, you get it!
Although sometimes I see people doing that with the mics that are actually still meant to be mounted. Like they'll do it with a Shure mic, and just because the Shure mic comes with a hand, like it's still better if you just have it mounted. Like it's... to make sure you're hitting the right point of the microphone, which some mics want you in the side. Some mics actually want you down. Like you need to know. Oh, it annoys me too, because I know a lot of people are doing it for the aesthetic. They're doing it so, you know, their mic is the same color as like their whatever, but you're not getting the best audio. And often you are peaking sometimes some very hard consonants into that microphone that the software is not filtering out. So I'm just like, please stop. Like I get it, but stop.
And quick mic tip, if you see how Brian has his microphone above his, or below his mouth slightly, that's so the s and p don't go right into the mic, and it's less harsh because that airflow goes over it and not directly into the microphone.
Yeah.
Bonus audio tips. All right, so we were talking about the Rode Wireless Micro before we went down that particular rabbit hole. So that was our other recommendation.
Yes. Absolutely. And especially now, because they are making new models and they're making new ones, you will be able to find, and not only on their website, actually, let me double check. On their website, I believe it's still, okay, it is currently... the Lightning ones are now on sale for $99. The USB-C, oh, actually, okay. They're still, some of the prices are still on sale. So keep an eye out. And if you buy it direct from Rode, it is just as fast shipping. They are not messing around. But I will also say, if you want to look elsewhere for the same model, you might find it for just a little bit less than that $100, but probably not much less right now.
All right.
I think it's a good investment though.
Yeah. Let's go to let's talk about editing programs. You had you were liking DaVinci Resolve. I like DaVinci Resolve.
That's another one that I kind of got into this year, using much more, and it's something that I kind of fiddled around with. I used to use Wondershare Filmora because I didn't want to learn how to do video editing. And it was a very, very easy onboarding, easy process for what I do. And what I do is still very simple. I'm just like clipping parts out. I'm not doing anything fancy. Unfortunately, they started adding a little bit more and more and more and more AI into their stuff. And they also had a little bit of an issue where people bought lifetime licenses and they said, well, you're going to have to pay for the next version. And then we all collectively explained to them what lifetime means. And then they said, okay, fine. But it was about that time that I picked up DaVinci Resolve because somebody mentioned that it's quite good, it's robust, and it's free, which was the exact right price. And I opened it up and I was completely lost. It is a lot. So I started just going down YouTube rabbit holes and on some forums, and just to be like, okay, how do I do this basic thing? Cool. How do I do this next basic thing? I'm still learning how to use DaVinci. However, what DaVinci respects a lot more easily, to loop back to our conversation about audio and splitting sources and using it as software like Wavelink, is if you're splitting out your audio sources in OBS to multiple tracks, when you bring that video into DaVinci, all of those tracks are there separate. So if you separate your music because maybe, maybe you don't want the lo-fi going out a different platform, you can mute that. If for whatever reason you want to mute yourself because the game was doing something and you talked over the game, you can mute that part. It's a lot more control. And I will say that every time I open DaVinci, I learn how to do something new. I learn how to tighten up my workflow just a bit more. So it's, I've started using it to, I now have sort of a template. So when I do shorts, or when I do vertical videos, I bring in both the videos and it automatically cuts out where I need it to be. It processes the audio the way I like it. So yeah, I'm a big fan, but I also admit it's not a simple, like if you've been using simple video editors before, it is not an easy, oh, okay, I'm just going to open it up and know what to do. I was lost. If you have used professional video editing software, then you already understand what it's going to do. But I was very much like, don't know what I'm doing, one step at a time.
Yeah, I've been using it for a few years now, and I came out of using Adobe Premiere. And there's still a learning curve because it is slightly different and the shortcuts are different, but you can find a lot of the same stuff. It's just in a different spot. So YouTube videos, someone has a tutorial somewhere. You can just Google search this one or whatever search engine you like and find a topic on it. What I also like about it, speaking of splitting up things, is that if you're using OBS to record, since OBS put in chapter markers to videos, if you record in the in the hybrid MP4, or I think it might work in the .mov format too now.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, and you use chapter markers, those will show up in DaVinci Resolve. So you can just, I believe it's like you hit shift and either up or down, and it'll go to the next chapter marker you made, and it makes editing really easy when I just need to find a specific point, and I have a chapter marker, just go to it, cut it out. It makes editing down Tech Fridays real easy because I usually cut out the break creates a chapter marker, go to there, cut it out, go to the end, cut that, and break is gone from the edited video.
Yeah, if you're putting in markers in your stream, if you have like Nightbot, one of the web-based bots, has an automatic thing to do a marker. But if you're doing anything with your streaming bot, when you put a marker in, also put a chapter marker in, and or use the shortcut key or use a Stream Deck button. But it's really, really nice. Whenever I change a game, I used to have automated things for this, and now I just do it manually. But whenever I change a scene or if I change a game, it automatically adds a chapter marker. And it's much easier for me to go back and immediately find, like, okay, this is where I'm going to start within like 30 or so seconds. And yeah, it's one of those things where it's really helpful. And certain video apps, certain video editing applications will respect the markers, others won't. But DaVinci's one that sees it all. It sees all. It's really nice to use. Yeah.
Plus, if you want to get deeper into the weeds for DaVinci, there's a After Effects like part of it, and there's an audio like part of it where you can just focus on audio, or you can do After Effects stuff of like moving sources coming flying in and out and various things like that. And I haven't learned all that yet. And I may not, because it is a lot. But if you want to, you can. It's very, very powerful. And again, it's free. And of course, they want you to get more into the Blackmagic design ecosystem with their cameras, because if you have Blackmagic stuff, it works brilliantly with DaVinci Resolve. But also, you can just use DaVinci Resolve with whatever, and it's amazing.
Yeah. And I always think about the paid version. So far, I haven't seen a whole lot of reason to do it just yet. But that's because I'm lucky. The way that many of us have our OBS set up, we also have captioning plugins. So I don't need DaVinci to do an auto captioner. I can pull the caption files that save on my hard drive and use those in the editor. Another of my 2026 to-do lists is to learn to use the Resolve effects. So like, because one of the things I was like, what if you just like made a custom stinger for yourself, like a scene transition? You can make those. I just have to learn how, and it takes me back. Like, I used to do Adobe Flash animations. If anybody remembers Adobe Flash, congratulations. So I have to think about remembering how to do a timeline of effects and things like that. But I'd love to like make some stinger transitions again, just because they're fun to do and they're goofy.
All right. So anything else you want to mention on DaVinci Resolve? Because I think we'll head into a break, because we have more to talk about. And this is a longer episode of Tech Friday. Amazing that we talk for a long time about tech on when Brian's on the show, I know. But yeah, come back. There'll be more. And like I said, if you're watching this again on YouTube, the break part will be edited out. There'll be an edited version, or you can watch it with the break. I mean, the live stream's available always too, so you know.
Don't watch it with the break. No, don't do that. You're gonna edit it out. That's what we just talked about, chapter markers like a second ago. Okay? That's why you don't watch the live. This is the one thing that you don't watch live. Watch the edited later. But I will say, we do have a few more things to talk about when we come back from break. But also, my query out to chat still stands. What kind of things did you enjoy, or new things did you pick up in 2025, and what are you looking forward to in 2026?
All right. And with that, we'll take a break, be back in about 5 minutes, so stay tuned. Continuing on with the final Tech Friday of 2025, I'm here with Brian, Urban Bohemian. Follow. Hi there. Follow Urban Bohemian everywhere. I don't know what else to tell you about that. If you're not, why aren't you? You have a command. They're very easy to find. You just type in Urban Bohemian, and you know, when you see that face there, it's going to be good content.
That's the other thing in 2026. We're not calling it content anymore.
Oh, we're not?
You have to burn that out of your system. We got to come up with the real names for our stuff, because everyone sees everything as content, and it's tiresome. Like, I'm tired of feeding the content machine. But yeah, stop embarrassing me and talk about your stuff.
Yeah. So, well, Brian here is willing to come on this show, which is delightful, and he puts up with a lot from me over the years that he's come on.
That is not what I told you to talk about. I told you to talk about your stuff.
This is my stuff. So yeah, follow.
He really does have a list of things to talk about.
Right. I do.
Yeah.
Again, the list of things in, where is it? Obsidian. Yes.
Oh, of course it is. Oh my gosh, you and Obsidian. I can't say anything because I ended up teaching him how to do stuff in Markdown, so I feel like part of the blame is me as well. Like, it's fine.
So next few things, I guess, are on me, but I want to talk about this handy thing I got. The Canon Selfie QX20 mini photo printer. This little box here, the ink cartridge, if you will, goes in the side. The paper is tiny, goes here, and you connect it to an app on your phone. There's a QR code on the ink flap that you download the app to your phone, scan that, and then yeah, it all works together, and you can print out pictures. Now this uses a sticky back paper, so I can just peel it off. But you can take a picture of a box of Ultramen. You know, I was at a toy show. Someone was selling Ultramen. They were all in a box, and it amused me. So you know, you can do that. Yeah, you can do the.
I think you have to like do it kind of like you have to do the stance and do it like over here, but you can't see my legs, so it's not the full.
Yeah. There's a little stance to it too, but you know, when you're ready to fire that chest beam, you gotta, yeah. But you can put them in notebooks, and field notes, one of my favorite things. So I started making a little book of pictures I took at Gen Con, or stuff I got at Gen Con. So some of this is going to green screen out, but you know, so I got these 2 books. I just stick them in this field notebooks. Now I have room to write about them down here, and you know, they stay fairly well in there. They've been in here about a month now since I started doing this. So the sticky part is pretty good, very solid. And what I like is that I looked at a lot of these because there's quite a few available, and from the various YouTube videos I saw, the Canon, there's other versions of this, but the Canon usually had the best color, and that's to do with the type of ink that they use, because there's one that used some sort of zinc processing for these little things, and they don't. And I think Canon doesn't use that, so that's why you get a little more robust color out of these. Plus, Canon says the color will last a very long time. Like, it's like, color will last 100 years. I'm not going to know that. I'll be dead before 100 years passes and then find out. But
and it's a 4-color process. I remember when I was watching you stream it. So it does do the, it does the magenta, yellow, cyan, and black, like laying on. So it is much closer to like if you see an actual color printing like processor out in the world. I think that would be a lot of fun. I mean, just to have stickers to hand out at places, or pictures, like turn your pictures into stickers the next day. Journaling would be a lot of fun with that. Also, if you have one of those reusable sticker books, like, like you could make your stickers and then kind of give them to people like at a gathering. That'd be fun.
Yeah, and it doesn't make a lot of noise. You just charge it via USB-C, and it comes with its own little. The cord for it is not very long, so if you're charging this, maybe get a plug-in, get an adapter to plug it into a long place, or plan to put it really close to wherever you're charging it to, because the cord is not long. It's meant to be next to your laptop or something, so you can just charge it right in there. I don't do that. I have a whole USB-C power strip that I use, and so it just sits on the floor next to its little plug-in spot, because the cord is not long. So just be aware that if you get this, the cord is not long. Also, the paper and ink come in their own box. They do not come with this. So it is, and the paper and ink is a little more than other devices like this. Like if you get some other brand of this, you'll get paper and ink that's a little less expensive, but I think for the quality, it's pretty well worth it. There's a couple packages. They give you, for the ink and the paper, they give you 20 pieces of paper and ink cartridge that should last you through all 20. And you can fit 10 pieces of paper at a time in the unit, and they package them. So there's one plastic bag of 10 and then another plastic bag of 10. So you just open them up, place them in the bottom, and you're good to go with those 10. And you can also manipulate the photo a little bit so that you can print, vertically. You can fit 2 on there. You can make little tiny, almost postage stamp size. You're fitting like 9 little small ones, but then that involves cutting out the little stickery bit, and that'd be a problem. I think the biggest hassle I had was learning how the peel of the paper, of the sticker back paper. and I've gotten better at it, but it's still, that part's a little fiddly, but other than that, it's been fantastic.
I've never asked that before. Is it because I'm very bad with stickers, and I need there to be like a die cut on the back where I can like kind of get across. But yeah, the new method of sticker production is there isn't really anything to grab onto. You just sort of have to do the weird flick to just get the separation.
Yeah, and I'll show the box of Ultramans again. You do get this white border on the bottom, which I like, because this is where I peel from, and that way I'm not fingerprinting up all over here, and the picture itself doesn't get a weird little corner in it or anything where I'm bending. So if I peel from here, there's, you know, room to mess up, basically. But you can use this to write on and do other things. And like I said, you can, you know, print off two. They'll be smaller, but, you know, you could have one here, or a bunch of postage stamp size ones going all across. Really handy. And, you know, if you don't want this part, you can just cut it off. And yeah, but box of Ultramans, because it makes me giggle.
You like print your like 4x4 photo, like back in the day when you would get school picture day, and they all the different sizes, and you print like your 4x4 and like cut it out and hand it to people.
Get the laser background going.
We did. It's a thing. Yeah, it's a thing we did back then. Nowadays, I'd be like, I don't want your picture. I mean, I went to high school with these people. I don't want their pictures. I didn't want their pictures then, but it's what you did.
And just because I have a cat, I'm showing off the cat and a flower.
It looks really nice. Yeah. I mean, even basically across the internet, it looks really nice.
Yeah, so I'm real happy with the can. Again, if you go to YouTube and search, you'll find all sorts of videos on these various products and all sorts of comparison. I would recommend, though, looking at the Canon product line for that type of printing, because the colors in all the tests I saw in all the various videos, the colors really did come out. I think some of the best that I saw out of all the comparison videos. But, you know, judge for yourself. And if you want to know more about it, there's Brian posted a link to my craft day with it. So if you want a more full explanation and watch my joy over the color process going in and out constantly, can do that. All right, next up, I have something. Unfortunately, it's over there connected to my laptop currently, but I did get a portable monitor this year, which is very handy. This was the Arzopa portable monitor. It's a 1080p monitor, and it fits in my carry bag. When we've had streams about what we bring to conventions, we've showed off the bag before, and it fits right in there. It's lightweight. It has its own little kickstand. It plugs right into my MacBook Air, and I have a second screen. I've started taking this to my home game sessions so that I can, you know, show them the monster art or whatever. I just put it on screen. I actually use OBS to do this in a bit of a kludge bit, but that way I can have the monitor facing the players, and I can see what I'm putting on the monitor through a thing in OBS, and I can just drag it over and enlarge it and stuff, and then they can see the monster or the map or whatever I need to show them. And it's been brilliant. Also over there, just for the crafting streams, having that second monitor has been great, because then I can have the camera up in one thing and then the chat and Obsidian up in another window or on the other monitor to keep myself more organized. And it's really been fantastic. So if you have the budget for it, look into portable monitors. There's a bunch of these now, but when I got it, it was on sale. So, and yeah, if you can fit a portable monitor into your bag, I highly recommend one. Even taking it to, say, a convention or something up in the hotel, you need a little more workspace for something. They're convenient. They don't weigh a ton, and it's been really great.
Yeah. I think I would like that. Like, I think, again, I also think about at a convention, and, you know, if you were running a game for a similar thing, and you wanted, like, you didn't necessarily need to have, everyone on a virtual, but you needed like a little more, you wanted a visual thing, or a player didn't, like for me, I never know what a monster looks like. So I'm always happy when someone's like, okay, here's a link to the picture of the monster so you can understand what your character is seeing. And also, yeah, like if you were doing a mini bootstaffing and you didn't have like a massive thing, just a small screen to kind of be able to control. But I think it's smart that you use the second screen from OBS versus just a regular screen share, because that allows you more control over what goes on that second screen versus using, every laptop has like its own set of shortcut keys for like sharing the screen out, but you have to be really careful about what's on that screen, especially since it would be facing away from you.
Yeah. So there's a function in OBS that allows you to see another monitor, and it just pops up as a little window, and I can pop that out so I can shrink OBS and just have this little window of the screen up. And I can place that wherever I want, whatever corner I want. Hey, kitty, how you doing? We might have some kitty time here.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's great. So if you want to go on, you had the retro gift to yourself, the Intellivision Sprint. While I deal with the cat.
Yeah. Oh, sure thing. Well, I mentioned a while back, I've mentioned it on stream, and if anybody in here is Generation X or nearabouts, you may remember that some of the first popular home consoles were the Atari 2600 and the Intellivision, and it was perhaps one of the first console wars in history, although not really, because the cost of them at that point, like no one was going to have both. The point was your friends had one, you had the other, so people would actually go to each other's house to play console games together. I know it's a very weird concept. Oh, and she's done. No, maybe not.
Maybe not.
But sort of settling the console war much, much later, Atari just bought bought the rights to the Mattel Intellivision, and they have since come out with a retro styled Atari 2600, and they recently came out with the Intellivision Sprint, and it is exactly like it was back in the day. It's got wood paneling, it's got like gold metal on it. It came loaded with about 45 games, and it plugs into an HDMI port. The controllers are now wireless, and it's just one of those things where I was like, I'm just going to buy this for the retro fun of it. What I found is the HDMI port works great from the device to like a television, but my capture switch thing is not super happy with it, so I may need to like upgrade that software at some point, because it might just be it might be a different kind of HDMI. But I played it on one of my TVs, and it reminded me of one of those things where you play retro games, and somehow as a child you were able to do these things flawlessly, but as an adult you've become extraordinarily spoiled, and you're like, did I really play this game for hours? How? It was so frustrating. But yeah, for a little bit of like, I was like, okay, this I guess is my like end of year gift to myself. And it's currently on their site for $150. Reviews are good. And reviews are honest. They're like, yeah, this brought back retro feel and nostalgia. It is not the most robust thing. Having one now, it weighs practically nothing. Like I feel like my laptop weighs more than this thing, because everything is just on, like it's on a tiny drive inside like the big case, but it's just cute and it made me happy. So that was like one tech thing that I got myself for, I guess that's like my Christmas gift to myself. And yeah, I can, like my father and brother and I used to play like the auto racing and the tennis and the baseball. Usually in television, baseball is what everybody kind of remembers. It has their version of like their sort of dungeon crawler in it. And while they couldn't get the rights to the actual Dungeons and Dragons one, you can load stuff from a USB stick onto the thing. So if you have other emulators, chances are you'll be able to load those games onto the Sprint as well. So you'll actually end up having access to more than just those 40 preloaded games.
All right, excellent. Yeah, there's a lot of neat retro stuff out, and the Intellivision looks great, and I like it. I was an Atari 2600 kid, so the paddle and the one button and
the thing is, the paddle on the one button is still undefeated, I think.
Yeah.
And it would like arcade games, the joystick, it was really in there. I mean, with Pac-Man, you didn't even need like a button. Although if anybody remembers the Atari 2600 Pac-Man, those sounds were not anything that a Pac-Man arcade machine would make, but it was still a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was great. I played that was my game, man. I was playing Pac-Man, the 2600, and I saw the arcade Pac-Man, and I'm like, at home I can just do this, and I didn't care what the graphics differences were or the sound. It didn't bother me. It was just fun. All right, let's go into a pick that we both have, the virtual Stream Deck, which
the powerhouse of the Stream Deck.
Another Elgato thing that came out this year was the virtual Stream Deck. So if you have a physical Stream Deck, or if you have the Stream Deck app on Android or iOS, you can get the virtual Stream Decks. And so you download the Stream Deck software, you say you want to make a virtual one, and you can assign it to a mouse button or bring it up with whatever hotkey you want. And it's been fantastic. I have one program for my button. It does my zoom in that you see when I'm doing demos. So I click the mouse button, it sends a hotkey that does the zoom in. That's all thanks to virtual Stream Deck, right? And I also have a button here that opens up the deck part, and I have my music player, I have Obsidian, I have my a couple other commands, and so when I need Obsidian, I just click my mouse button, and there it is for me to open.
Yeah, I think if, as much as I have gotten used to where my buttons on my Stream Deck are, I've noticed over time that the Stream Deck has to have a good power, like you need to have it in like a high powered hub. Otherwise the response time is a little low. Sometimes it goes to sleep on you, but being able to have, since I'm looking at the camera and the monitor is behind my camera, being able to have the buttons up on the screen, and they can be over, like they can be always on top. So nobody else sees them, so I can basically have them on my game screen or on my second chat screen and quickly click things to like mute the mic, hide the camera, any other of my Stream Deck things. And so far I don't have all of the buttons that I have on my virtual, but you can make the virtual Stream Deck as many rows, as many columns as you want. You can space it out, you can move it around, you can lock it in place. And yeah, if you already have Stream Deck software, this is just like one more thing. I don't know, that sounded almost like a protest.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, I think the virtual Stream Deck is again, like Elgato continues to do good things for streaming, and a lot of the good things they're doing aren't asking you to invest more than you already have. So they're like, you already have a piece of our tech, so here's a free thing you can use. Yes, that is locked out if you don't have any Elgato stuff in your ecosystem, but that's, I mean, a company's got to do the company thing every now and then. But I think the virtual Stream Deck is really, again, it's just one more thing. I think if for instance, I could see, like, if you're a producer and you really don't want to look away from the screen to do something, even if you have the muscle memory for your buttons, but you just want to keep looking up at the Zoom chat or whatever Discord chat, you could just overlay, like at the very bottom of the screen, overlay your production virtual Stream Deck there, and you never have to look away at all. So yeah, I really like it, and it's made it a lot easier for me to do stuff because it doesn't time out, it doesn't fall asleep, it's instantly responsive. It is more responsive on the desktop, on your computer's desktop, than the actual Stream Deck itself, and that to me is kind of wild.
Yeah, it's really great, and you can make as many of these as you want. There's probably a limit, but I don't think there's a practical use case for all the buttons you can make with a Stream Deck, with a virtual Stream Deck, because yeah, you can just make the largest Stream Deck display you want, and then you can make another one, and then you can make another one, and just have a monitor full of all these empty virtual Stream Deck buttons.
Might be a bit much.
Might be a bit much.
Like,
yeah.
That might be a little bit much. Yeah.
But you can What I also like about it is that you can say how many buttons you want, and if you want blank ones to appear or not. So say you have 8 buttons, you set up an 8-button thing, but you're only using 4 of them. You can have it so that when you press the virtual Stream Deck button, only those 4 show up. And if you add another one, well, then number 5 will show up, but it will cut off the blank ones.
Yeah. I have mine set up like a kind of around a corner. So there's a little pyramid and they sit in like the lower right or the upper left corner of the screen. And it's just like, you can shape it however you want. You can have a random button in the middle of anything. It's really nice and it's well done. And it is one more thing that you have to consider how you want to use in your workflow and your setup, but it's a tool that it can just add to it, and I think that's nice.
All right, I did have a couple of TTRPG things I wanted to bring up just to kind of round out. First one is I have been deep diving into hex maps lately, and something that was brought to my attention. Again, this one of those didn't come out this year, it's been around a while, but HexFriend is very easy to use if you want just a real simple hex map. It's free. You can download the map and use it. And related to that, so check it out. It's real easy to figure out. I don't think I need to do a thing. But the thing I've started using again was Incarnate, because they just put out their 2.0 thing, and you can lock in a launch offer for that, and that will be your price until you stop until you stop paying yearly for the account or monthly. And it's really cheap right now. I think the creator version is at $25 per year. The studio version for commercial use is at $40 per year for a full powered map thing. It does hex maps, which I love to find out, and it's been really easy. And eventually I'll show it off once I have time to get a little more proficient with it. But if you're looking for a pretty good deal on map software, I wanted to point out HexFriend free, and then the new Incarnate is pretty wonderful so far, and
nice.
Quite a great upgrade. The 2.0 is really nice compared to their previous version. And also, how can I let go of TTRPG things without mentioning all my free resources to TTRPG? The Obsidian Vault I talked about up at the start of the stream will eventually be in this list right there. And go check them out. There's a bunch made in Markdown and some PNG files, and they can use on your own. And yeah, I'll make some for some other TTRPGs. Right now, they're most of the stuff is D&D focused because that's what I know. But I do have a campaign. What do I call it? Campaign, adventure, and session system there.
The CASS, yeah.
CASS, yeah. And that is available Obsidian Vault or just the Markdown files. If you don't use Obsidian, you can still use this, and I provide a template for you to do that. And so there's some TTRPG agnostic things and D&D things. I do have I think I did a Daggerheart campaign frame outline as well. So if you want to take a look at that, that's all right there in my resources. And yeah, so my own little plug, and like these are free to community to use. So please click the button, and just click the button anyway, because it makes the little line on the website go up, and line go up. It's great.
We got to stop worrying about number go up. I mean, yes, it's nice, but you got to get away from number go up. But no, it's like I love when people just put their stuff online, like sharing things that are useful or not. I think, like we put stuff out there and we're like, if this helps you, great. If it doesn't, well, I felt happy writing it, so therefore fine. But I liked your because I'm always somebody who, like, during combat forgets everything I can do. So I like the options for the actions you can take, D&D wise, because I never remember anything to do. especially when we do theater of the mind. I'm just like, I don't know. I guess I just stand there and someone's like, you should move. I'm like, oh, right. Yeah.
Right.
I did that too. Yes.
Yes. So yeah, I have sheets that are, if you do an action in D&D 5th edition 2024 rules, what can you do? So there's a list of things and tools and conditions and everything that's available in through the SRD 5.2. I just kind of organized it in a quick reference view. So take a look at those if you want. They're pretty good. I've been using it in various ways and even finding ways to put them into little field notes books so that, you know, I can go to a convention and go, want to play D&D? I just pop out a field note book and I have the adventure right in here. There you go. And if you're at a convention I'm at, you probably should already have dice with you. So, or if you have a mobile app, that's fine too.
That's fine too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that will be something nice, is to finally play like a pickup game at a convention, which it's difficult when you're like doing panels or volunteering or running games, because you know that playing a game itself can take multiple hours. So you have to say, okay, do I really want to commit to that? But also it'd be fun to be like, yeah, does anybody just want to sit down and play some TTRPGs like right now? That'd be really fun. Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else you wanted to bring up? Otherwise, we're going to cut off this and then get into the relax, enjoy time and see people. So if there's anything else you want to talk about,
we covered, yeah, we covered a lot of things. 2025 was very interesting to see overall the tech in 2025. A lot of it because of the advent and the constant hammering of AI. A lot of what I saw coming out wasn't unique. It wasn't innovative. It was, you don't want to do this thing that, even though it's very easy for you to do, so we're going to cut that. We're going to just make it convenient. But the tech itself wasn't really doing anything, or it was promising to do stuff that nobody really knew. You know, a lot of devices were saying, oh, it can do this. And consumers were perfectly like, they were valid in saying, well, why? Why would I want that? What is the purpose of that? So I think we saw a lot of that in 2025, and unfortunately, the way tech is going, I think we're going to see more of that in 2026. So, you know, yay.
Yay.
Like,
but you can always come by here, and I'm sure I'll find something interesting to talk about, and we'll pull out the pearls from the weeds, and it'll be a fantastic time.
On every week, I would be savaging everything. Like, who needs this? No one needs this.
No one needs this. So if you are watching this later on YouTube, thank you. This has been the final Tech Friday of 2025. Tech Friday will come back January 9th. I am taking 2 weeks off. I just won't be. You can still email me or whatever. I might respond, but other than that, Tech Friday will return. Yes, indeed. January 9th. So I want to thank you all for watching. If you are with us live, please stay tuned. Just doing this for the edit on YouTube. And we have more to talk about. We still have time to fill. Yeah. So I want to thank my guest, Brian, Urban Bohemian, for being here. Tell folks where to find you.
You can pretty much find me everywhere on the internet as Urban Bohemian, or urbanbohemian.com, which is probably the fastest way, is just go to my .com and it has all my contact stuff there. And yeah, you can mostly find me doing stuff on Twitch, streaming a few times a week. And yeah.
All right. And I've been your host, DC. You can find me everywhere under DC Lasair. Look for all my stuff coming up through the next year on my website, dclasair.com. It'll be fantastic. Thank you all for being here. Really appreciate the support throughout the year. Special thanks to Rex and Mimics and Misfits for helping out with the stream and letting us use Screen Garden, because that's been a big game changer for how I run things on the stream. So I thank both of you for your support in that. And I will see you all in 2026 Bye. Okay, that's good for the edit.
How long do you have to do this? Okay,
keep going.
Did you push the chapter button?
No, not yet. I'm working on it.
Do you know where the button is? Did you move the button?
No, it's where it's always been. Swear, promise.
Wow, that sounds legit. I believe that.